Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Cassie from Ground Up Fitness, and today we're going to walk through a lower body dumbbell only workout. We're going to warm up, go through the workout together with the rest periods added into the video, and cool down at the end with a couple of stretches. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Have water close and be safe through all your movements. If anything hurts, back out of it. We can find a regression, or you can just not do that exercise, but it's not worth getting injured over. So be careful, warm up well, and we'll get started. Okay, so for our warm up, I want you to find something that you can lean up against. I'm going to use the squat rack here, but you can use a chair, a couch, your kitchen counter, whatever works for you. We're going to start by opening up to the side, opening your hip right where you feel your hip connect into your glute. We're going to do 10 of these. Both of my knees are soft, and I'm just working on opening up that hip joint. After 10, I'm going to turn around, do the other side. I don't want this to be a balance act or a balance warm up, so hold on to something and focus on warming up this joint here in your hip. For your next warm up, we're going to open up our hamstrings a little bit, so hold on to that same thing that you were holding on to before. With your standing foot, your knee soft and your foot flat, you're just going to kick your foot up as far as your hamstring allows, and you want to avoid pushing up under your heel. So kick up. We're going to do 10 of these. These dynamic warm-ups are great for improving your mobility and decreasing your chances of getting injured. So working through as much range of motion as you have available is what this is about, so you can feel if anything hurts and also get as much movement through that range so that when you introduce that range of motion in the exercises, your body doesn't freak out and cause injury. We're going to go backwards now. Lean into that same thing, the chair, your squat rack, counter at your house. We're going to go 10 kicks backwards, opening up your hip flexor. You want to avoid swinging your body. You just want to focus on your hip joint and kick backwards. The last warm up we're going to do is warming up our squat and our legs. So I want you to step out wider than hips width apart. We are going to squat down, hands to the floor, hips up, and roll up. Squat down, hands to the floor, hips up, and roll up. Squat, hands to the floor, hips up, and roll up. 2 more of those. Squat, hands to the floor, hips up, roll. 1 more. Squat, hands, hips, and up. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the workout. If you have questions, feel free to comment below and take everything slow and at your own pace. The rest periods are there so that you have time to recover and your body has time to recuperate everything it needs to go into your next set. So take advantage of the rest time, and let's do it. Our first exercise is going to be reverse lunges, and I want these to be supported. So if you are working out at home, feel free to set yourself up by a counter in the kitchen or by your couch or by a chair, something that's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to knock over easily because it's there for some support and some weight bearing purposes. The first exercise we're gonna do is a reverse lunge. I'm gonna show you a couple variations of this exercise, and you can choose what feels good for you. If you're not sure which level you should start at the lower one, and if that feels great and you want to be challenged more, go for the next advanced level. So take your time, work at your own pace, and you can either do this body weight or with a dumbbell. So I'll show you all of those options. You're going to need something to lean up into. I want this to be a supported reverse lunge. So you can use your chair, you can use a bar, like a countertop at home, squat rack, a chair at the gym, like a bench, anything that you have that's about hip to chest height, and you'll see in a second what I mean. So this move is focusing on your glutes and your hamstrings, and you're going to stand pretty close to your support, and the working leg is the leg in front. I bend both of my knees slightly, take a step back, and I'm just on my toes. That's important. Drop my back knee so that I have a 90-degree angle here, and also I'm leaned forward. My ribs are pretty close to my quads in this moment. I don't want us to be really sat up straight. Leaned over, tap your back knee, and then push through your front foot to stand up. I'm going to be supported with my chair or my squat rack or whatever it is we have. Step, tap, and push back through that front foot to stand up. So when I go back into my lunge, my glute stretches. When I stand up, it contracts. I'm bent over, tap, and back. If I want to do this with weight, I'm going to hold on to the weight in the opposite side of the leg that I'm working. So I'm working this leg, so I have the weight in this hand. Step, tap, and back. Step, tap, and push. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with that. We're going to do 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps on each side, and then we'll rest and we'll do that again. So 3 sets in total. All right, so this is our first set of reverse lunges. I'm going to work on my left leg first. So that means my left hand is supporting me. The weight is in my right hand. Step, tap my back knee, and push. We don't want our front knee passing over our foot. You want your hips going back so that you can squeeze a lot through your glutes and get a good stretch here at the bottom. 6, 7, 8, I'm going to do 10, 9, and 10. Feel free to put your weight down. If it's too much, you can do this body weight, no problem. Really support yourself with whatever it is you're holding on to so that balance isn't part of the equation. Move slow. 2, step, down, and push off. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, our second set. My hand that I'm holding the weight with is the opposite side of what's working. So my working leg is the left leg right now. I want my legs to stay in their own lanes as well. And what I mean by that is that your feet stay under your hips, respectively. I don't want you to step back and cross over into the lane of your other foot. Step your foot back in its own lane and up. 5, lean over, straight back. 6, be careful tapping that back knee. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. If you need to, also it's totally normal and fine to rest in between the sides of a unilateral exercise. which is what this is. Transfer all my weight into my working leg, which is now my right side. Step back in my own lane onto my toes, all my weight in my heel, leaned over, pushing my knee slightly outward as I go down, pushing into my hip. 5, strong abs. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, this is our last set of our reverse lunges. Like I mentioned before, if the weight's too much, body weight in here. If that's too much, take your step, feel good about your spacing, square to the wall or the mirror in front of you, and only do these guys. Down and up, down and up, if that step is too much to coordinate. Here we go. Working leg, I was starting with my left leg. Also, when you're doing unilateral movements, you might have heard me say this before, you want to start on the side that's less strong if you have muscle imbalances, which a lot of us have. So if your left leg is stronger, you want to start on your right leg so that you have more energy going into the thing. And also you can feel good mentally finishing on your good side. 9 and 10. Switch sides. Feel free to take a little break in between your sides. I have the weight positioned in front of my leg so that it kind of forces me to already start the hinging motion with my hips, which is valuable. Tap, down, push my hips back. 1, 2. Really lean into that front hand if you need to. Steady your balance with it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Strong abs. 9. Straight back. 10. Awesome. So that's 3 sets of 8 to 10 on each side of reverse lunges, and we're going to move on. So our next exercise is a bilateral RDL. To set up your spacing for that, feet together, toe, heel, and now my feet should be under my hips. That's about the width you want your feet for your RDL. If this is your first time doing this, feel free to do it with super light weights or without a weight even, just kind of like miming it so that you can get the technique and try to feel where the muscle should be working because it's a little bit complex. So first thing I want to do is roll my shoulders back, straight back, and then bend my knees. Not too much, not too exaggerated, but I do want them bent. From here, I'm going to trace my weights down my legs until I can't push my hips back anymore. Once I'm there, I don't want to lower down anymore with my upper body. Instead, I want to push the floor away with my heels. I'm going to turn so you can see what angle I'm talking about, with the hips pushing back, straight back, bend my knees, trace my weights down my legs as I push my hips out. Right here, I can't push my hips out anymore. That's as far as I can go. So I push my heels back into the floor and I stand up, squeezing my butt, scooping my pelvis under. Bent knees, trace the weights down my legs. I don't want any space between the weights and your legs, and push. It's really important to have a strong core through this so that your lower back doesn't hurt. You want to really pull into your abs, pull your belly button into your lower back. Breathe in, go down, exhale on the way up. Breathe in, down, exhale on the way up. So let's go ahead and get started. We want to feel this mainly in our glutes and then in our hamstrings. If you're feeling it all in your hamstrings, I want you to bend your knees more. Hinge your hips back, push through the floor and stand up. So my dumbbells are ending up like maybe an inch under my knees. If you're going too much further than that, you're probably going too far and you're putting your lower back in danger. Hinge back, keeping my toes and my heels on the floor. Stand up, that's 7. We're gonna do 8 to 10 of these. 8, if that's all you got, that's fine. My glutes kind of open to the sides. As I stand up, I squeeze them together. One more. Glutes open and squeeze. So as we rest, I'm going to talk about some tips for this. You really want to find what this hinge means. If you've ever done a hip thrust, it's really like that. The movement is very similar, just standing up and with dumbbells instead of laying back with a barbell. So your hips go back and then you push them forward. That hinge is elongating my glutes and opening my glutes up to the side. As I stand up, I squeeze in. Hinge back, hips towards the back wall, stand up, pelvis neutral under me, squeezing my glutes under. I also want to keep my pinky toes on the floor. I don't want to rock back into my heels. So pinky toes on the floor the whole time. If you feel yourself rocking back, stop, get back into your toes as well, and then keep going. That's going to allow the glutes to work more than just the hamstrings. Also, if you're going really straight leg, you're going to feel it all hamstring. That's a different type of RDL that is focused on hamstrings, but we're not doing that one. We want to have our knees bent and trace down, opening up, elongating the glutes, and coming in and squeezing in. That's the variation we're going to do. So now that I talked through our entire 1 minute and 30-second break, we're going to do another set of these. 8 to 10. If you don't have heavy dumbbells and you don't feel very challenged by this, feel free to do more reps. But just keep your low back really safe, abs really tight, and keep the weights really close to your legs as you go down. I think this is the best angle to show you. Shoulders back, trace the weights down, and hip thrust up. I'm keeping my chin pretty tucked in so that I'm not looking up at myself in the mirror and putting a weird strain on my neck. People have different opinions about that, but personally, I feel safer this way. Hips back, toes on the floor, hip thrust up, squeeze. 7, 8, 9, and 10. I think this is the best angle to show you. Shoulders back, trace the weights down, and hip thrust up. I'm keeping my chin pretty tucked in so that I'm not looking up at myself in the mirror and putting a weird strain on my neck. People have different opinions about that, but personally, I feel safer this way. Hips back, toes on the floor, hip thrust up, squeeze. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Our next exercise is a hamstring bridge. You'll feel this a little bit in your glutes as well, but it's mostly for our hamstrings, the back of our legs here. So you're going to lay down on your mat, and we're going to be doing a bridge, but with one leg at a time. It's a variation, you'll see. So we want to set up for where you feel with your toes up in the air and your elbows on the floor, the squeeze in your glutes and your hamstrings to push up. So if you feel good in your spacing there, you're going to lift one foot up in the air and then push through your other and down. It's a very small range of motion, a few inches up and down. I'm keeping my chin tucked to my chest so that I'm not pushing too far up and getting into my lower back in this. As soon as I get to a squeeze in my glute and my hamstring, I'm done. That's as far as I'm going to go. You can see here how short the range of motion is. So lay down, set up. We'll start counting from here. Heels in the floor, toes up. Lift up one leg into like a soft knee position. You don't want to try to be extending it here. Push through your elbows, pull your ribs in, and push. 1, 2. We're going to do 12 on each side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should feel this in your hamstring now burning. 10, 11, and 12. Good. We're going to go to the other side. So instead of having to measure everything back out, just put your foot next to where the other one was and lift the resting leg up in the air. Tuck your ribs in, chin to your chest, and push. 3, 4. I'm only lifting off the ground maybe 4 inches at the most. Maybe I'm delusional. I can't see it, but it feels like a small area. 8, 9. I don't even know how many reps I've done. I'm making this up. 10, 11, and 12. All right, we're going to rest and then do the other side. If this feels uncomfortable on your neck, you can like put a pillow under your head or something, or like roll up a sweater and do that. If that feels uncomfortable, it's totally valid. I'm going to start on my left side. So I'm going to lift my right side up in the air. I'm closing my eyes because the sun is brutal. Push, hamstring. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm being careful too that my knee on my working leg isn't falling inwards, keeping everything in line with my hip. 7, 8, 9, 10. Careful not to push into your low back. 11 and 12. Switch sides. I like to have my hands in this position because the force through my elbows feels helpful. 3. Keeps me stable. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to rest and then do one more set. All right, one more set. Toes in the air, elbows into the floor, soft bend in your knee, and push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, burns, 11, and 12. One more. Soft bend in the knee, elbows, push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, 12. We're going to do goblet squats next, which refers to the position of your weight. If you're doing this body weight, just put your hands out in front of you. You don't have to worry about the weight, but that's why it's called a goblet squat. For those of you that are using a dumbbell, you're going to put your hand under the dumbbell, your palms under the side, like this. And for this one, we want our feet heel toe, and then a half of one heel toe out. So I'm a little bit wider than hips width apart. The weight is going to stay really close to my chest as I squat down 90 degrees and push back up through my heels and my inner thighs. 90-degree squat and up. I don't want you to go further than that. I just want you to go to 90 degrees. Here and up. The goal is to keep your feet really flat on the floor and keep your balance and your knees push out. So nice and slow, 90 degrees, and push up through your heels. If that's not accessible to you today, you can do it off of a bench, feet directly under your knees, weight in the same position, stand up, and then look for the bench on your way down, nice and gentle and controlled. Stand up, still pushing your knees out slightly so that they don't fall inwards. Sit down with control and push up. The thing we don't want is to throw all your weight back into the bench. Stand up, and with control, sit back down. So those are the two options. This one with the bench, a little bit safer, a little less intense. Grab my weight. We're doing 3 sets of 12. 1, 2. When I'm doing squats, I'm breathing in an intentional way. I breathe in, down, and exhale on the way up. That keeps everything nice and safe in your abs. Breathe in, down, exhale, push. And keeps all your internal organs safe and your back. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Abs real strong, back nice and straight, feet flat on the floor. Control. Exhale on the way up. I'm also never fully extending my knees at the top. I'm keeping my knees nice and soft to protect the cartilage in my knees. 10, 11, and 12. Heel toe, and then a half of a heel toe. So I'm a little bit wider than hips width apart, but not too exaggerated. Soft knees on the way up. Chest up. My feet flat on the ground, my toes on the floor, my heels on the floor. If this version's too hard, feel free to do the one on the bench. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so for this exercise, we're going to work our quads and our calves a little bit to finish up. So you need to find a wall and push your lower back all the way into the wall. You shouldn't be able to put your hand through here, right? If you're arching your back and you can put your hand back there, that's too much space. Tuck your ribs in, tuck your abs in, and push everything towards the wall. So from here, we're going to lift our heels up and hold it for 5 seconds and then go back down. If you need to adjust, feel free. Lift your heels up, hold it, 3, 4, 5, and down. We're going to do that 5 times. Lift up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down, 1. Up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, down. Push my back into the wall. Heels up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 4. Last one. Heels up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 5. Phew. So that's kind of intense. If to keep reminding yourself the whole time to push your abs back into the wall. It burns. If you can only do 2 or 3 of them consecutively and need to come up and then go back into it and finish your 5, that's totally fine. Do whatever feels good for you and take your time and work up to it. So we're going to take a little bit less break between these exercises because this is kind of our burnout. This is where we finish up. Everything's tired, but we want to keep good form. So I'm going to sit down into my wall sit, feet under my knees, push my back into the wall, and heels up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Heels up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Abs into the wall. Heels up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. That's 3. Heels up. Back into the wall. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4. One more. Heels up. Push your back into the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have one more set of these and then we're done. Feel free to stretch as much as you want when we're done. I'll show you a couple stretches. This was all lower body. The next video will be all upper body. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know what you think. We're going to do one more set. Down into my wall sit. Push my hips back into the wall. That's my check. Everything good there. Heels up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heels down. Back into the wall. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. Heels up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 3. Push into the wall with your abs and low back. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4. And up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. Whew. So some stretches that will feel good after what we just did are stretching your quads out for sure. Bring your knees together. Pull your heel up into your butt. You want to avoid doing this because this is stretching more of my hip than my quad. Keeping your knees together. Pulling your knee down towards the floor. We're going to hold each stretch for at least 10 seconds. Switch sides. Knees together, pulling your heel towards your butt and your knee down towards the floor at the same time to elongate that quad that connects from my hip down to my knee. So you want to pull it long ways. We're going to stretch our hamstrings a little bit. Feel free to repeat any of these stretches that you want, but I'm going to give you some options. Put your toe into a wall or your couch and then lean forward over your straight leg. You should feel this all through your hamstrings and your calves. Push your hips back nice and straight. All the way down here, you should feel it. Switch sides. Lean over, push your hips back, toe into the wall, back nice and straight. Nice. Grab onto something. I'm going to keep using this wall, but you can use a chair or a couch or whatever. Lean forward. Push your hips back. Straight legs. This feels really good on my shoulders, but also feels really nice through my hamstrings. Let your head go. Push your hips back. Push your armpits down towards the floor. Nice. We're going to do a little bit of a split. Hands up, breathe in. Bend over one leg. Don't force it so much that your knees bend. You want to keep your knees nice and straight and only reach down as far as you can. I can feel this in the inner thigh and also in the back of my hamstring. Walk your hands. If you can't touch the floor, just pretend. Over to the other side. Pushing my hips back, my legs nice and straight. If you can only come up to here with straight legs, that's fine. That's where you'll be. Walk my hands into the middle, grab onto my opposite elbows, and pull down, pushing my hips back, stretching through my glutes and my hamstrings. We're going to bend our knees, find the floor with your hands, and then toe, heel our feet together. Bend your knees more, drop your butt, and then stand up nice and slow so that nobody passes out. So that was our leg day routine. The next video will be upper body. The next video after that will be full body. So that will be the sequence of this block. With those 3 days, sorry, there's been so many helicopters today. With those 3 days of workouts, you'll have a full split. You'll have every muscle of the body worked. Let me know how it was. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you need regressions or just feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments.